All right, so we are on to part 4, which is actually using the graphs that we just created to solve some of the equations we've been looking at. All right, so in order to do this, we need our graphs from part 2 and part 3 in order to get this done. So if we take a look at the next example, it says find each value by referring to the graph of the sine or cosine function. So the question says, what is the cosine of pi? So what that means is we need to pull out our cosine graph and figure out where is the function located when theta is equal to pi. So when theta is equal to pi, we are down here at -1, and so I can use my graph to say cosine of pi is -1. All right, so take a moment to pause the video and use your graph and see if you can answer 2 and 3. So if we take a look at question number 2, it's asking what is the y value, and actually we need to get our sine function out. And it's saying what is our y value when x is 3 pi over 2? And so if I draw my vertical line at 3 pi over 2, my y value is also at -1. But then the next question is interesting because I don't have a -7 pi over 2 in my graph. So then I want to look at my descriptions. Let me get my picture out of the way. And so when I look at my description here, I want to figure out, is -7 pi over 2, does that look like n pi or does that look like odd pi over 2? So notice I don't even care about the negative. I have an odd number times pi over 2. And I said when it's an odd times pi over 2, that means that we're at a maximum or a minimum. So that means my answer is either 1 or -1. So let's see if we can plan this out. So I've got a minimum at 3 pi over 2, a maximum at 1 pi over 2. So then I would have a minimum at -1 pi over 2, a maximum at -3 pi over 2, a minimum at -5 pi over 2, and then a maximum at -7 pi over 2. So that means we are at our maximum value of +1. So we're just using patterns of the sine function in order to figure this out. All right, so then when we look at the next set of questions, this is asking the reverse. This is saying if I know what my sine value is, meaning I know what my y value is, what is my theta value going to be? So this is saying my y value is equal to 0. So I'm going to put a little horizontal line here at y is equal to 0. And it's saying what values of theta create that. So notice I have one here at 0. I have one here at pi. And I have another 0 here at 2 pi. And so sine of theta is equal to 0 anytime theta is equal to n pi, where n is an integer. All right, so see what you can do with the next questions talking about the cosine graph. So pause the video for a moment and see if you can do that. All right, so if we take a look, we're asking where is the cosine of theta equal to 1, meaning where are my y values equal to 1? And so that's happening up here where y is equal to 1. So that's happening when theta is equal to 0. And then again, it's happening when theta is 2 pi. So then by that, the next time it's going to happen is at 4 pi, etc. And so we can say that this is happening, theta is equal to n times pi, where n is an even integer. Okay, so see what you can do with the next question. What do you think would happen if we're at a maximum where n is even? What's happening? How are we getting to that minimum value? I'm going to flip this around a little bit just so we can see it a little better. All right, so we're asking when is cosine of theta equal to -1? So if I draw in this line of y is equal to -1, I really only hit one time where theta is equal to pi. But notice at 0 pi I was at a maximum, 1 pi I'm at a minimum, 2 pi is a maximum, so that means that 3 pi would be a minimum, 4 pi would be a maximum, 5 pi would be a minimum, And so this is occurring when theta is equal to n pi, where n is an odd integer. I'll just say int. All right, so then moving on to the next question. This is asked, I'm actually going to go a little bit out of order. I apologize for this. So, because if we can figure out the bottom part, then the top part actually gets a little bit easier. So, if we take a look at the bottom, it says determine whether we have a sine function or a cosine function. So I want to look at where is it crossing the x-axis. So notice if this is negative pi and this is negative 2 pi, do you see that this is going to be the average of the two? So negative pi plus negative 2 pi over 2 is going to give me negative 3 pi over 2. So this is negative 3 pi over 2. This is negative 4 pi over 2. So that makes this point here is negative 5 pi over 2. Then this is negative 6 pi over 2, negative 7 pi over 2, etc. So that means that I'm having x-intercepts at odd pi over 2's, and I'm having maxes and mins at the 2 pi's and the regular pi's, right? So looking at my graphs, do you see that looking at my cosine, that's where my intercepts are the odd pi over 2, and that my maxes and mins are at odd pi or even pi, right? So that tells me that this is the cosine function. So y is equal to the cosine of x. All right, so take a minute to look at number 10 and see if you could determine if that's a sine or a cosine function. So notice here, I am hitting the x-axis at 4 pi, at 5 pi, and at 6 pi. And if we take the average, remember we can do 4 pi plus 5 pi over 2 gives us 9 pi over 2. So that means this is 9 pi over 2 for the maximum, 10 pi over 2, this is 11 pi over 2, and this would be 12 pi over 2. So I need to pick the graph that has x-intercepts at regular pi's. So notice for the sine function, my x-intercepts are integers times pi, and then my maxes and mins are at the odd pi over 2. So that tells me that this is y is equal to the sine of x. Okay, so what I want you to notice here, they did this little lightning bolt here, and that's for a reason. So imagine if we had like a sideways trash compactor and we squished it and we said we don't want it to be to scale. So when the distance from here to here, or I should say the distance from here to here is not the same as the distance from here to here, we put that little lightning bolt in to say I scrunched it a little so that I can focus in this area. All right, so looking at question number 7, the first thing I want to notice is I'm dealing with y is equal to sine of x. Okay, so that means that I am going to be using my graph of y is equal to sine of x. And then they said, but we're going to stop at negative pi over 2 and at positive pi over 2. So I only want just that snapshot. Okay, so you'll notice we said, oops, that's the wrong paper. We said that the sine of x was going to start at 0. So that means here I'm going to start at 0. And then at pi over 2, we got up to our maximum. So that means on this right-hand side, we are looking like this. So if I continue that pattern, if I'm pi over 2 steps to the right to get to the maximum, then pi over 2 steps to the left would get me to my minimum. And so now I have graphed y equals sine of x from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. So if we take a look at question number 8, now we want to look at the cosine graph. And so we want to figure out, they said stop at 7 pi and stop at 9 pi, but we want to graph cosine. So what I want you to notice is our period is every 2 pi. So every 2 pi, I'm going to start my period, and my period starts at 1, right? So if we were at 0, we would start at 1. If we had a 2 pi, we'd be at 1. If we had a 4 pi or a 6 pi, we would be at 1. Or if we have an 8 pi, we would be up here at 1. That is the beginning of my graph, okay, or of my period. So then let's take a look. We said here maxes and mins occur where we have n pi. So notice I have a maximum at 1 and a maximum at 2 pi. So all my even pi's are going to be at 1. That means that my minimums are all going to be at odd pi's. So 1 pi is down at a minimum. So that means that 7 pi will be at a minimum and 9 pi will be at a minimum. I don't know if I did that very well, but you get the idea. And then we said halfway in between, I'm going to hit my x-axis. So halfway in between 7 and 8, we get 7 pi plus 8 pi over 2 is going to give us 15 pi over 2. And I'm going to have an x-intercept. And then if I do the average of these two, hopefully you'll see I would get 17 pi over 2. And I have an x-intercept because we would have intercepts at odd pi over 2's. And so now I have enough information in order to graph my little, sorry, that dot was really far off, my little cosine of x, okay? So use the ideas of where are my x-intercepts and where are my maxes and mins, and at the beginning of a period, where do I start? That's how you're going to create these graphs that are not to scale with the origin.